Hey guys, welcome to Bar Z. My name's Stan, and first we're going to start off with some friendly reminders. Don't take Bar Z if you're allergic to Bar Z. Bar Z may cause unintended machinery acquisition. Bar Z may cause iron in your bloodstream. So we need to support the companies that support us as a community. American Rotary is one of them. There's the phase generator right there for what we're giving away. Go check them out at AmericanRotary.com. Another big one is Lincoln Electric. They support us every year. Real good to them. If we support them, they'll support us right back. It's just a nice revolving door action, and they're really, really good to our community. So I always encourage people to support all the sponsors that support us. Just a friendly reminder. Okay, well, the folks over at Rosenthal sent over. This is a 1/4 to 1 inch and a 1 to 2 inch rose index. If you're not familiar with these, go check them out at where's the website? I think rosenthalproducts.com. Anyways, look them up on the internet. This is the original rose index, and you just clamp this to a round rod, and you use this to square up against your table with either a square or a block or whatever, and you can index your parts in a rotary fashion in a few different configurations. So pretty neat. And we thank Tim Rosenthal was the inventor of the rose index, so we thank him for sending these out for the raffle. So these are going to go as a package. Nice pair of rose indexes and a sticker, and I just unpacked them here. I'm going to get them packed back up and put them back in the box so they don't get scratched or whatever. They're nicely anodized, nicely engraved. Let's focus on that. Come on. There you go. Made in the USA, patented. They got a brass tip screw, so your material doesn't get a dingleberry in it. But pretty nice. I use a pair of these myself, and they've gotten me out of a few jams. Well, the folks over at Lincoln sent over a 215 MPI. And now, if you're not familiar with this machine, this is a multi-process, primarily MIG welder, but it does MIG, flux cord, DC stick, or DC TIG. It's dual voltage. It'll run on 120 or 230 volt. There's the spec on it. Now, it does not come with the DC TIG stuff. It does come with everything you need to do MIG welding and flux core. And I think it comes with a stinger for the DC stick weld, but it does not come with a TIG torch or a foot pedal. But you can buy the kit to convert it over. And so it will do some TIG welding. It will not do AC TIG. It's a DC only machine. But there's the spec on it. It's a single phase machine. And it's, like I said, it's dual voltage. So let's get it unpacked and let's have a look at it. Okay, well, when you first open it up, you notice they give you an accessory kit, which are MIG welding contact tips, drive rollers, and there's a sleeve there. I'm not sure what that sleeve's for, but that's a consumable kit. That's nice that they give you some extra stuff like that. And then all your cables. I don't want to unpack the cables. I mean, I don't want to unwrap them, but got your ground clamp, nice heavy ground clamp. Yeah, she's pretty stout, and it's all bayonet style connectors. So you've got ground, you've got this is the 230 to 110 volt adapter. The machine is auto detect, so you just plug it in and it knows what voltage it's getting, and it sets itself accordingly. This is the stick welding attachment. Again, bayonet connector. Let's see what else we got here. Got your got a gas hose. That's for your argon. You got a gas regulator here. Here in the back. So gas reg. And then of course your MIG gun here And this is also a quick connect style here. So I don't want to undo any of these. They're all bundled up nice and they fit in the box really good. But I'll get these unpacked, and there's the handle to the actual machine. So we'll get that out next and see what else you get with it. Okay, everything's here and everything's unpacked. And this is a nice little suitcase type welder. It's got handles at both ends. It's got a way to wrap cords around, and it's got a handle in the middle. Job site use, I'd use it. That's awesome. This has got a lot more than some of the older suitcase MIG welders. First of all, it's got the smart panel, and it'll do an auto select for you, kind of what's represented here on this sticker. You pick your wire size, you pick your gas type, you pick your thickness, tell them what your process is, and it'll pick your wire feed and your voltage based on that. And then you can fine tune it. On the display, it'll have a little white cursor right there, and your knob will control that, and that'll move you around. Inside the green, when you get out in the red, you're out of parameters. But if you need a little more heat, or you need a little more wire feed, whatever, you can bounce around with it. It also has, and these are the setup buttons to get you through the to the menu. These three buttons get you through the menus on the screen. Bayonets in there. Your MIG gun's going to plug in here. Probably if you're doing TIG, you're probably going to plug in there as well for your switch. I believe this is an expansion port for probably for a spool gun. It might be for the foot pedal though too. And then of course your MIG gun goes in there. Let's go to the side here. So you got your feeder unit. It's a quick connect right there. And they use a different one here, or actually here, for different size wires. And those are just thumb screws. You just undo those with your thumb screws. And wire tensions here. This is spring loaded. Wire spool there. They give you a spool of wire to get you going. And they've got a really nice chart in here. It's indelibly marked. I wish some of the other ones had this. This is nice for ordering parts, consumables. That little air cap there gets beat up sometimes. Nozzles always get beat up, and of course contact tips. So it'd be nice to have the part numbers and everything right there. You know, photograph it, stick it on your phone, go over to the welding supply, whip out your phone, and there you go. And then it's got recommended settings for different thicknesses. And they are showing a spool gun here. So there are settings in there for spool gun. And they actually talk about it here. Spool gun switch. It's a C diagram on the next page for spool gun switch locations. Maybe we'll open that up and have a look around in there. I want to see if a spool gun actually works. Yep, I want to see where that switch is that they're talking about. It might be on the electronic screen. I don't know. Yeah, because I sure don't see that switch out here. I did see something in the back, and this is interesting. The other brands don't have this. They've got a dual gas inlet, so if you're going to bounce back and forth between, let's see, there's TIG and MIG. So you hook up your MIG gas here, hook up your TIG gas here, and you can switch back and forth pretty effortlessly. You don't have to disconnect bottles and mess around with that stuff. So kind of a nice feature. All right. Well, we should thank the folks at Lincoln Electric for sending this out. This is going to be one of our big prizes. We're probably going to have a standalone raffle for this. Also, Paul out at ZT Fabrication is building us another welding cart. Red, of course. But if you saw the one we had here last year, it was a very nice unit. Mr. Edward Anderson won it for the 4-jaw competition. But he's coming back to defend his title, and I don't think we want to give him 2 MIG welders. So we're probably going to keep this for something else. All right. You guys better practice up on your four jaw because Ed Anderson is wicked fast. All right. You better go start practicing right now. All right. But thanks to the folks at Lincoln. 3-year standard warranty. Nice little MIG welder. Okay, so I told you I was going to find out what's going on with that spool gun switch because it's showing a green and red switch with a, see, they're showing a MIG gun, and down here they're showing a spool gun. But I didn't see a green and red switch anywhere, but I did find it. It's right there. It's just not green and red. That's all. But it's inside the case, so this thing will go spool gun. So pretty interesting. Okay, well, we got another batch of shars that I need to get through. I didn't even make it through one whole box. I've already filled up my table. I still got to get all that splayed out. So I thought I'd start with this. We'll start back here with some indicators. We've got a couple of shars brands. We got 1, 2-inch models, and we've got that's a dual indicator there. That's going to read out in metric and inch, both. So if you are inching your way towards metric, see what I did there? So if you're inching your way towards metric, that'll help you, that should ease your transition. We've got a genuine Mitsutoyo. This is my gauge of preference. This is my daily use and daily carry. So those are nice little gauges, really smooth, really accurate. Thread wires, I got 3 more. I think the last video I had 1, so we got a total of 4. So that's, we can split those up among the Raffles. We got another mag back. That'll fit the lug back of any of these indicators. So this indicator, that 4-bolt pattern there, unbolt that, and that'll give you a mag back indicator to put on your waves or whatever on your machine. Speed handle for a Kurt type vise. You can put it on the inside hole or the outside hole. Outside for extra gronk, inside for pure speed. Thread gauge. This is a handy little thread gauge. You actually have 2 of those. Mighty mags, always handy. I've got a couple of those. We've got a whole pile of carbide tip scribes. A little angle plate. This is a little 3x3. These are handy. You can drill them, you can tap them, you can slot them, you can carve them up. They're inexpensive enough. Doesn't break your heart when you cut them up a little bit, but they're handy on the mill and handy for setups. Angle gauges. I think those are new this year. We didn't have these last year. So angle gauges, handy. Edge Technology vise stop, handy little vise stop, clamps right onto the edge of your vise. We got a couple of test indicators. Both are Shars brand. This one and this one. This one has been certified by Fox. I think it's called Fox Valley Metrology, right? This one has a certificate. This one doesn't. This one has more value, obviously. These are little ice cube inclinometers. These are actually pretty cool. Pretty easy to read display too. Nice bright green. You'd be surprised how accurate those are and how handy they are. You can tip apart, putting it in your vise if you just need 45, a rough 45 for a chamfer or something. But we got 3 of those. I took 1 out of the box and the other 2 are there. So we've got 3 of those to give away. Radius gauges, 2 sets, actually 3 sets. So we got 3 sets of radius gauges. I already showed you the dial indicator, but 2 sets of machinist jacks fit in those red sleeves. Those are handy to keep in your toolbox. You never know when you need them. When you need them, you need them. Morse taper 2, extended nose, live center. The extra clearance and the extra length on that nose enables you to get in there with tooling and stuff and get your work done. We got a tap wrench, nice tap wrench. We have a Starrett wiggler set. It's got the ball, the disc, and the pointer. Does not have the indicator holder, but nice center finder. Drill gauge. 1, 2, 3 blocks. I'm pretty sure the other box that I still got open is going to have more of those. We always have a lot of 1, 2, 3 blocks. This is a Shars Aventor with a certificate, again with the Fox Valley Metrology certificate. So this one's traceable. And then a couple of real nice Mitsutoyos. These come with a certificate automatically from Mitsutoyo. And I'm going to warn you about the counterfeits that are out there. Always buy from a legitimate dealer. If you're going to buy Mitsutoyo or something high-end, you really got to be careful of those eBay specials. I've got a knockoff, and it's just a horrible little digital dial caliper. It's this. It's a 6-inch, and you cannot tell the difference. The packaging is the only thing that'll give it away. A few things to look for. This is a very sturdy plastic. You cannot tear it, and it's not a zipper type bag. You actually have to cut it open with scissors. I actually use these scissors to cut open both of these, but it's a different type of plastic. You simply cannot tear it, and it'll be completely sealed. And then they've got all the documentation, and then a lot of times they'll put it in the wrong sleeve. See, this one's a digital, so it says Digimatic. This one just says dial caliper. If your product comes in with the wrong sleeve on it, that's your first red flag. If the package is opened, or that plastic is not present, you'll know it as soon as you feel it. It's a very heavy plastic that you cannot tear with your hands. No way to open it without a pair of scissors or a razor knife or something. That's your second clue. And then you always look for the half thousandths increment on those things, and make sure those are present and the right size. But there's little clues that they're going to have, like the calibration certificate. It's going to be just photocopied over and over and over again. You're going to get everyone's going to get the same certificate. It's not real. These are going to be handwritten. It might be in Japanese, but you should be able to spot it. But there's little clues to look for counterfeits. So if you're going to spend the money on a Mitsutoyo, go to a reputable dealer like Shars, but just don't buy them on eBay. Be careful out there. All right. But this is the first table full of stuff. Let me get this cleared. I wanted to get it all splayed out and showed to you. And then we'll start getting through that box over there. And I've got some more calipers, and there's some indexable tooling in there. These are all the cases for the indexable tooling, and there's some of those down underneath I got to get through. So, okay, let me get everything switched over. Okay, I reloaded the table, packed all that stuff away over there, and a lot of these are, we've got doubles of quite a bit of stuff, but we got a lot of people that are showing up, and we got a lot of people playing Raffle. So here was a couple of 6-inch digital calipers. There's another 6-inch there it's got the smaller display. It's got the larger, easier to read display. So I highlighted those before. We have one here with the Fox Valley certificate. So this one's got the calibration certificate with it. I make sure those don't get mixed up. Got a nice, and these are all 6-inch. There's a nice 12-inch. That's also got the big display on it, so that one's going to be easy to read. I like the big calipers for especially sheet metal work. A lot of times your parts are getting kind of big. And then a couple more 6-inch small display, IP67. There's an IP54 large display. And we got a couple Tegara. This is a half-inch. Yep, half-inch by Jacobs Taper 33. So it'll take a number 33 arbor, half-inch keyless. And here's a 3/8 keyless. Same thing, Jacob's taper 33, both with a spanner for when you inevitably get them stuck. It happens. And then we've got some indexable tooling. A lot of these I have. I have this set. These are negative insert boring bars, and they've got spare inserts and the wrenches to take out the screws. This is a good little set of bars. I use mine frequently. Here's an internal and external threading set. These are right-hand threads only, but you can do internal threading and external threading with this set. And I own this set as well. You can actually look up Shars on eBay. Shars has a store over on eBay, and rest assured that really is Shars. That's not an imposter, but you can buy a lot of stuff on eBay straight from Shars. I think the prices are about the same, you know. So if it's easier for you to buy on eBay, they've just got an outlet over there to take care of it. This is a set of 1/2-inch tooling, but they also make them in 3/8 and 1/4 inch for you guys with the smaller lathes. But this is a good little set. Like I say, these are 1/2-inch, so it's for a little bit larger lathe. But this is a must-have set for anyone starting out and anyone you know, with a small to medium lathe. All right, and then this is a grooving tool. Now this one I don't have, but it's on my list. And I took all the inserts out of the pack right here, and they all look identical. But here I'm gonna zoom in on that. You see each one of those inserts is a different width. So if you're doing O-ring grooves or snap ring grooves or different things like that, I think like this one and this one are probably the same. This one is a little wider. That one's a little wider, and then there's a fatty there. Those are, each one of those inserts has a different width. So I thought I'd show that to you, because when they're just laying in the pack, you can't tell that they're different widths, but it does come with an assortment of widths. So nice little grooving tool, and you don't use that for parting, just grooving. And it's external only. You can't, I don't think there's any way to do that internally if you were doing internal grooves. All right, but nice set of indexables. And that takes care of another box. I've still got another box to go from Shars. Running out of time, not going to be able to get it handled today. Okay, well that's going to take care of this video. What I do want to mention is my sponsors and those that have responded. Track Machine Tools doing the tour. I want to remind you about that. If you want to go to the Track Machine plant tour on Thursday before the bash, send me an email. American Rotary, that's our title sponsor for this year. Shars Tool, they're the ones sponsoring our raffle, and all the tools I just showed you. You know, about 90% of that stuff's all Shars. Lincoln Electric, I showed you the welder. In addition to that, Paul from ZT Fab is sending us another welding cart, so we've got a full package coming. Diamide clamps, those are the power clamps. I'm sure you've seen them before. If you don't, look them up. It's D-I-A-M-I-D-E, Diamide clamp, and they do a power clamp for fabricators and welders. So they have responded. Rose Index, I showed those earlier. Tim Rosenthal over there sent us a pair of his little indexers. Evolvent Design, they're the ones sponsoring our swap meet this year. That's Andrew, and also he is putting on a class on Friday for gear cutting. If you want to sign up for gear cutting class here in the shop on Friday before the event, send me an email. ZT Fab, I already mentioned them. Engineer's Black Book, our friend Reen's coming back, and they're doing you know, the little books that we use. It's a great little reference book, and it's everything you need to know. 90% of what you need to know is in the Engineer's Black Book. You know, it's not a full-on machineries handbook, but there's a lot of superfluous information in machineries. But EBB, quick reference, easy to find, great little books. I use them all the time here in the shop. And we got a new one this year, and we kind of lost touch with them before. This was before COVID, and they haven't been back since. They actually came back last year just as a guest, and then they introduced themselves right as they were leaving last year. It's a little machine shop right over here in Pasadena. These are the guys that cater to the home shop machinists and the smaller machines. But they're going to sponsor us this year. They're going to bring a display out and show off a couple of their little tabletop machines right out in the swap meet area. And look for them when they come in, and go check them out on the web at littlemachineshop.com. All right, but that's all the sponsors that have responded so far. I've got more that I got to send a second email and remind them. But I appreciate you all watching. There's a bunch of links below to all these sponsors. There's links below to play Raffle. There's links below to buy a t-shirt. We got stickers we're giving away this year. This is our 10th bash, so that's Bash X. All right, so that's our logo for this year. And I want to say thank you to all my fellow YouTubers and all the sponsors and all the guests that just show up. And you know, if we all come together, it makes it a lot easier. All right, I appreciate y'all. We'll see you on the next one.